Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Today's video is probably going to be a little bit longer. I'm not for sure. Hopefully it's going to be a bit more chill video, but we got an account takeover for Warmir. Now, he did say I could do this video for you guys and hopefully help out some people watching this, which if you're interested in having a account review, coaching, whatever it may be done, then click the link down below. I have all kinds of services. You can check that out. Now, today we're jumping into a level 62 account. I'd say it's early mid-game. I basically classify pre-Arbiter early game, Arbiter to Lydia mid-game, Lydia to Ramen 2, I guess maybe late game, kind of Ramen 2. Like, honestly, the labels are kind of irrelevant, but I'd say this is early mid-game, very close to Arbiter. So jumping in here to the actual sheet, this is basically just like a snapshot in time of where his account's at. I like to do this so people can look back on their progress a couple months from now and see where they came from. So today, we have a player who's 3.1 million player power, 25 legendaries, level 62 account, 23 rank 6 champions. His dungeon farming times, Iron Twins, you can see all the numbers here. I'm not going to go through everything individually, but honestly, Sand Devil and Iron Twins I wouldn't even worry about. Those are more later game content, especially Sand Devil and Shogun, because until you get high quality gear, putting dust on gear that's mediocre is really kind of just a waste, to be honest. Faction Wars is not cleared yet, though he does have the presets for Faction Wars, which is incredible. Most players don't do this. But definitely, if you haven't already, come in here, delete all the presets you had, and fill it in with the faction-specific presets, because this is separate from all other areas of the game. Come in here and start working on your Faction Wars, because Faction Wars is gonna be one of the biggest areas for improvement in your gearing. There is, period. Other than the Forge Pass, early game, Faction Wars is going to give you incredible boosts in your gear, plus the glyphs. You need glyphs, especially when you're building clan boss teams that require very fine speed tuning. Having those +1 glyphs is going to make all the, or it could make all the difference. So now, past that, the arena, he's in gold 5. However, he has a very low level of Great Hall. You can see the Great Hall level right here is 24. The reason for that, I believe, is that he has a full defense setup. It's a relatively intimidating defense. So players are coming in here, they're seeing this, which technically UDK should be in the front, because now people attack, and the way polymorph works is if, say, a Madame Saris does her strip, well, everybody gets stripped, and then UDK places polymorph, but everybody's already stripped. If you put him to the front, now she tries to strip, and UDK actually places polymorph on her, and nobody else gets stripped behind it. So it's very good to have him in the front. If you really want the aura from Ancora, then you can just do Ancora first, and then UDK. But you want your polymorph champions as close to the front as you can possibly get them. Either way, let's go into the next area. Actually, before we go to the next area, defense. I would actually recommend just taking this off. It's cool to have some wins in your defense log, but you really don't need that. As you're working on your Great Hall, you really just want to have a bunch of losses. You want to stay as low possible in gold 5. If you drop to gold 4, it's okay. I mean, look at this. The medals you get from 4 and 5 are the same. So just farm one-man defenses all the time, and you're going to be perfectly fine, because you need to finish out your Great Hall, or at least progress in this better, because your Great Hall is going to be a massive boost in your general account progression, because now you get more accuracy, you get more crit damage, more resistance, which is the order I recommend doing stuff, is accuracy, crit damage, resistance, more or less. You could possibly go resistance if you have some specific champions who you want to work on some resistance for. My chair is very uncomfortable right now. What's going on here? Either way, I do like the way you're going right now with accuracy. So that is a good job there. You're working towards this mission, which is affinity bonus level 7. So well done in that regards. Now, the next area is your fastest possible champion, about 284. Basically, I just threw this into the Helios optimizer, and it spit out 284 for Haikatun. If I was to put your fastest gear, it may not be your actual fastest champion, but it gives me an idea of where this account's gear's at, which is relatively newer, as to be expected. If it was like 350 or 400 speed, then I would know, hey, we got some pretty sick gear on this account, because players with that high of speed probably have some pretty good gear in general. Now, clan bosses, we're currently doing 2 to 3 key on Nightmare, which can definitely be improved. I actually recommend he comes in here, goes to budget, man-eater, unkillable, or budget, unkillable essentially, and it's man-eater plus painkeeper, some DPS, and a stun target. 2 key ultra nightmare. Now you're getting free clan boss rewards all the time. It's a little bit of manual setup, but it is definitely a significant boost. Honestly, when you first start playing, your sights really should be set on clan boss. Like, everything you do is working towards dragon and then clan boss. So dragon farming to get you the gear to build for clan boss is really what I believe is like the go-to direction for most players. And what you want to do is you want to make sure the champions you're building are going to work in as many areas as possible. I actually have that notes down below, which is make sure your champions ideally can work in 2+ areas of the game whenever you're going to max those champions out. So Clan Boss, there's mentions. Hydra, he definitely has the champions to 1 key, at least hard Hydra. We are missing some block buff champions, but in general, hard Hydra isn't super difficult, and he has champions like Grazur. I actually put this into presets earlier, but Archer, Grazur, Padrick, all these champions are fantastic. All these champions can be used in multiple areas of the game, except for possibly Shamel, but he's a complete game changer for Hydra. So this is a very solid lineup to get you at least started with Hydra. It's not going to push to Nightmare, but once you get a block buff champion, you very well could be pushed into at least Brutal. So Hydra is worth doing, but not rushing into. You want to make sure the champions you're building up are going to work in multiple areas as well. So now let's talk about Doom Tower. It's not cleared. The boss is there. Not really worth talking about, honestly. For Doom Tower, it is worth doing and worth farming and climbing up. And your Armons, he does have an Armons in the account. Getting Armons in for the wave control, make him fast, a lot of accuracy, and he's going to control the waves really well. So you should be able to climb all the way up to the top, pick you up some Void Shards, pick you up this Avatar, some more Void Shards at the top, just good resources in general. Maybe push into a little bit of hard mode as well, even if it's just the bottom stages. It's definitely worth doing. Definitely worth trying out and actually finishing, because there's a ton of great rewards inside the Doom Tower. So before I get into building some of these champions, which is something I like to do with the accounts that I do for a public video, whenever I send a private video, I don't always do the rebuilds and everything, because that's typically not what a coaching and review session is. But for this one, I am going to dive a little bit deeper. So for the general account suggestions, set a one-man defense in arena for easy farming. I already mentioned that. Focus on missions and challenges. It's basically like a hand-holding guide throughout the game. You can do Hydra, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Forge Pass and Gym Pack are definitely worth it. The Forge Pass is so extremely worth it. And for a lot of players, it's going to be your best gear for a very long time. And the Daily Gym Pack is one of the best offers you can buy as well. I know he spins, so this is definitely worth it. Next up, let's talk about the Farm Faction Wars. I already mentioned that. With maxing champions, think about how many areas they can be used in. Ideally, it's like 2+ areas. It's not always going to be the case, but you want to make sure champions being built can be used in several areas. For example, Stag Knight can be used in Fire Knight, possible Hydra, Dragon, and maybe Ice Golem. Armons, great for Doom Tower, waves, and arena. I don't think he needs Armons for the waves in general dungeons, but it could be used there. So the steps to take is building core champions. I'm going to go over that in just a minute. Then start to narrow down to more specific champions, build specialists for other areas of the game, farm a lot of Dragon to push into what your sights should be set on, which is Clan Boss, and then push Faction Wars, build up your different faction champions, and then farm Fire Knight for stun gear, which is going to give you more easy access to Faction Wars, and Savage, which is going to help you out in the arena. And then you get regeneration, all that kind of stuff as well. But Fire Knight is actually really good for a lot of different areas in the game. So in my opinion, this account should be focused on Dragon, then Spider, Fire Knight, and Ice Golem. Should be a very solid steps for progression for him. For the artifact current situation, we have 4-star and 3-star gear. This is not worth having. Just sell all this stuff flat out. 5-star, very soon you want to come in here and just select 5-star blue and sell all of it, honestly. Your 5-star blue gear is going to be very seldomly used and should very quickly be replaced. Don't do it just yet, because you may use some of it, especially pieces with speed rolls, which you have, let's see, 132 pieces with speed rolls. So it may have some use for you, but until you get Lydia, you can keep some 5-star gears, okay? But since you're working on higher stages of dungeons, you want to have these numbers swapped and having a lot more 6-star gear than what you currently have. So for the accessories, we got a very similar situation. Sell a lot of the lower, weaker accessories and start working towards more 6-star stuff. I'm going to try to get you set up to doing some higher stages in dungeons, building your core team, and then maybe theory crafting some other ones for you. But definitely want to start progressing higher in the dungeons, getting some faster times, and you're going to be in a very good spot in like maybe a couple weeks. You have a lot of energy. I know you mentioned you purchase energy, so just got to get those teams situated, and you're going to be in a very good situation. So for the general gear suggestions, gear sets, pay attention to those. I'm going to talk about the gearing. We're going to jump in there in just a moment, but sometimes broken sets are okay. You guys can read this all if you want. I'm going to send this information over to him, but basically we're going to jump in there now and talk about the gearing, talk about all this stuff, because this is the biggest holding point, the sticking point in the account. Rathlos, for example, look at his build. He's slow. He's way more crit rate than what we need. We need at least 100%, never going under, because that's just weird unless you have like a crit rate buff or whatever, but it's a different situation. But you really don't want to go over 110% crit rate. There's no reason to have extra crit rate. So in this situation, we have crit rate gloves. These need to be switched to crit damage. We need to build crit rate substats on these pieces and then just have Rathlos hitting a lot harder. But this build is not really very solid. We can definitely make this much better. Now for me, I don't think we're going to rebuild Rathlos today anyways, because I want to give him some core champions you can use for dungeon content to make his general gearing better in his account. So looking at a champion like Archer, she has a 6-piece lifesteal set. Lifesteal is a 4-piece set. It heals you by 30% of the damage dealt, which means 2 things. If your champion has War Master, lifesteal can work good. If your champion's built to do a lot of damage, so like high crit damage, 100% crit rate, lifesteal can do good. However, this champion is not built to do damage. She has low crit rate. She also does not have masteries, which masteries are a huge area of the game. You definitely make sure these get finished out, whether you purchase them or farm Minotaur, which is my recommendation. But lifesteal is also a 4-piece set. So anything past 4-piece is just being wasted. You could have a 2-piece set like Life. It wouldn't even do that, but that'd be better than Lifesteal. A 2-piece set like Perception, a 2-piece set like Accuracy. All these ones that have 2 by their names means it's a 2-piece set. It means it takes 2 pieces of this gear to give you an extra 40 accuracy. For Perception, it takes 2 pieces of Perception gear to give you extra 40 accuracy and 5% speed. For Lifesteal, anything past a 4-piece set is just wasted. So there's no reason to go past a 4-piece set with it. Whenever you come down to things like Slayer, Merciless, Supersonic, and these ones that have 1 to 9, that means that there's a different bonus for different amounts of accessories you have equipped. So with these ones, you can equip some accessories and have the final 3 pieces as well. Something to keep in mind there. But when it comes to gearing, if you need a set for the set bonus, get it, but never go above 4. There's very rare situations. Actually, there's no situations where you need to have more than 4 pieces of a set, unless some reason you just have like 5 god tier pieces in that specific set, and you just can't make sense to even swap out of it. Very, very few situations, very rare. So in most times, never have this many pieces of lifesteal, which I am going to come in here and tweak your Archer's build a little bit and hopefully make her much better for a lot of areas in the game for you. So past that, we're talking about bringing speed boosters, 220 speed. So what stats am I looking for? Actually, better yet, before we start building champions, let's talk about what areas of the game we're going to be building for. So as Dungeons, Ice Golem is currently, like I mentioned before, stage 20 is probably what's best to do here. Stage 25 is fine. We could actually get Bad L to be built to do stage 25, but stage 20 can be fine as well. Even with Bad L being bad affinity, it could probably be okay. But what I already said was the priority here is Dragon, Spider, Fire Knight, Ice Golem. So let's focus on Dragon. Dragon's going to give us access to speed gear, accuracy gear, toxic gear, and possibly lifesteal gear, which is all going to be amazing for our clan boss build in the future. Specifically speed, which is going to help us hit the speed requirements for budget unkillable, which to be honest isn't very high speed requirements anyways. But coming in here, let's do Dragon hard, stage 1, possibly. We have some very good champions, so I'm sure we can do it. Stage 1 of Dragon hard. We're going to go ahead and delete these presets because I think this could be improved significantly. So Dragon, we're going to go, okay, Archer. Archer's an amazing champion. Incredible wave control. She has a stun. She has a provoke. She has a decreased speed. She's not booked, which is a pretty significant, difference in her kit, but still an incredible, amazing champion. We have 1 book. So be careful about who you book. Archer can definitely use them. And Cora is fully booked. Bad L's booked. So your champions are pretty much fully booked. A lot of them are. But Archer is not. She definitely needs them. She can definitely use them, but she's still fine to use as a wave control even without them. So we're going to throw her in for Dragon the first thing because we want to make sure we get control on these waves, because if you control the waves, you're not going to die, right? You're going to be fine. For Dragon, we want poisons. Poisons are going to kill the Dragon, and it's even going to kill the waves. We don't need a ton of turn meter decrease, because if you're using poisons and you have turn meter decrease, and all of a sudden the poisons aren't being activated. So your run's taking an hour and a half, and you're losing your sanity if you had any left. So let's do Bad L now, and Grisur, since he's going to be using a lot of areas possibly. Before we do that, let's throw in, I'm hearing some noises. I think it's our robot vacuum upstairs. I hope it's the robot vacuum upstairs. By the way, robot vacuums are awesome, guys. If you haven't gotten one, skip buying a few Void Shard packs and get you a robot vacuum. Saves a lot of time. Either way, I think we're good. All right, so Ancora, res champion. If somebody dies, she'll bring him back, no problem. We have to have a poison champion. I already got that. Frozen Banshee could be a very solid poisoner for the Dragon potentially, but she may not be built, and I'm really not worried about building her anyways, so we're just going to skip on that. Grisur brings the defense. Rathlos can actually do some pretty good damage for the waves as well. We don't have any increased attack stuff, so honestly, I'm not too worried about Rathlos because of not having the increased attack. He's not going to do crazy amounts of damage anyways. Let's see if we have anybody who could maybe do some more damage to the waves, get us through there even quicker. Stag Knight's actually a pretty good option. Stag Knight could do the decreased defense, decreased attack. But honestly, Bad L is going to be like the main champion to get us through this. The Grazur doing his A2, the AoE max HP hit, is going to be fantastic. The Stag Knight could be good. I'm not going to use him just yet because I don't know if he's booked. If he's booked, it could be worth using even at 5-star. But we really need some masteries on these champs. First thing, let's actually build this Bad L. So Bad L is a champion who's going to be very, very helpful for a long time. He's fully booked. His masters are pretty good. Honestly, a lot of this content, he can basically solo it. Like, actually, he can solo. He can literally solo a lot of this content. So speaking of, let's go ahead and put some HP and speed. We're going to do priority stats, being speed. We're looking for some perception pieces. We have 8 million silver to make some magic happen with. Is it possible? Possibly. We're just going to go ahead and throw this on him. 6-star HP. Very nice stuff there. So Bad L1. We're going to go some speed pieces here. May have to go equipped. We are on equipped, actually. We don't have a whole lot of HP pieces with speed. We could go Slayer, because Bad L does do an AoE attack, so it could possibly work out. Makes sense. He has one of the necklaces anyways, so he has some speed boosting from his A1 ability whenever you use. Dang, I guess we're going the Slayer set. Getting a triple roll speed on that is very, very good. The boots, I think, are not speed, actually. They're probably not, because it is kind of low speed, it looks like. Let's see. So they're definitely not speed. They're HP percentage, which is fine. We'll just switch it over to speed, no problem. 6-star speed boots, beautiful. Honestly, might just take these all the way up. Or let's see if we have 6-star perception. Nope, we want 6-star boots. 6-star boots give us 45 speed versus just 40. So if you can get 6-star speed, go for 6-star speed boots. We do have to remember, we're looking to have good accuracy as well. We do have this necklace, which I assume is not crit damage. So if it's not crit, well, it is crit damage actually. No, it's HP. Great, so it's HP, fantastic. So we're looking for one more piece of Slayer, and then we're looking for more perception, because we want to have plenty of accuracy. We want at least 250 plus for this stage, I believe. Well, that's what we're going to be looking for. So now we're looking for some perception pieces, ideally 6-star. We'll go to equipped. There's nothing really equipped as a 4-star piece, which, like I said before, we don't want 4-star pieces. 4-star pieces are out of here. They're garbage. Absolute trash. 5-star blues, we're not selling them yet. We'll be selling them soon, but not just yet. So we have some pieces here that make sense, but I want to see what's the best pieces down here before I equip the accuracy piece, or the perception piece. So down here, we have a good weapon. We have a weapon that he's already using, which is actually pretty decent as well. But what's next? We have a shield and a helmet. Which one's the best? So we have this, versus up here, we have this, which is actually pretty decent. So we'll just take that, and then we need a little bit more accuracy as well. Let's go high on the accuracy priority. Stag Knight's actually using what I wanted to use anyways, so there we go. Does he have an accuracy banner? All right, so he does have an accuracy banner equipped. We're going to come through here and see if we can upgrade anything to have more accuracy on it from these pieces. This is going to be an extra 7 accuracy there. We can definitely push to a high enough number, which if you come over to the Hell Hades stages tool, you can see hard mode, stage 1 of Dragon, is going to require us to have 225 accuracy. So we're fine. With these this stats, we're perfectly fine. 230 speed. We're looking pretty good, actually. And the masteries, he's looking good there as well. So honestly, he's probably fine the way he is until even solo some content even, possibly. Grazur, we'll rebuild him in just a moment. Actually, let me see if Battle could actually solo Dragon Stage 25 normal. That may actually be worth it for him. 25, no, that's 25. That is Force Affinity, so it may not be the best for him. Stage 20 is fine because it's neutral affinity, so it may not be terrible to do this as a solo champion. Just out of curiosity, I want to see if he can do this, and maybe even at a decent time. I mean, why not, right? If you can do it, he doesn't have a lot of resistance, so he's going to get messed up by the dragon possibly, but what he does have is a lot of speed, plus the turn meter boost from the Slayer set. Whenever he hits the allies, he's not going to be crit by these. He's going to place continuous heal on himself all the time anyways. He has a decreased speed. Not a huge deal, because like I said, he's going to be cleansing this anyways. He's going to be cleansing everything from himself, using the A1s. All of his damage is from poisons anyways. So if he could do this in like under 2 minutes, that'd be awesome. But if not, we'll just use him in the waves, take him through the hard mode stages, and it's going to be fine. I want to rebuild his archer. His archer rebuild really should solidify things because she can actually get in here and start stunning the waves, decreasing the speed, which isn't necessarily great because I kind of want the waves to take a turn. But this is fantastic. Actually, he could solo this and solo Ice Golem as well, faster than what he was doing previously. Level food champions as he does this. So now he can start working towards those different areas. And even with a stun, we could throw some resistance on him. but it's not that big of a deal because he's not getting crit. He's getting hit kind of hard here, but he can never get crit because he's champion. Well, if they have a crit rate on there, then he can get crit because they will have enough crit rate to actually do that. But in general, he should be fine to survive most of this stuff. I mean, the weak hits are going to pop off. The continuous heal, I could get his accuracy to be or his resistance to be a little bit higher. It would need to be about 300. So I'm not for sure if that's actually even needed. Maybe squeeze out a bit more survivability, upgrade the stuff to 16, everything, make sure it is. But doing this in about 2 minutes, 20 seconds or so could be just the way to go, honestly. And this is actually an easier battle build than I actually thought. Now, the thing with 20 versus 25, and honestly even hard mode, it's really just something he can weigh out himself. So I will rebuild the archer to give you guys an example of what could be good. But if you have a bad L or a champion like this who can solo these areas pretty easily, very safely, and without doing too crazy of a build, now you save a gear from a lot of your champions. You can run this, level food, finish tournaments, do the champion training alongside it. It's on stage 20, which may seem low, but remember, stage 20 was the highest there was for a very long time. So stage 20 is not a problem. That hit was big because it does a percentage of your HP. So I have no clue how consistent this actually is going to be. I do know Bad L can do this very consistently with the proper stats. And this may be fine. I mean, he's cleansing himself all the time. The poisons are applied. There we go. 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Pretty fast clear, honestly. And get the level for all these champions. So something worth considering there. Let's actually see how close he is to having enough resistance to actually be fine. Probably not very close. Actually, we have a ring that could be upgraded, a big upgrade there. Defense, well, it's a 4-star. Let's go for a 5-star piece. HP with HP. I do want some more defense on him. Defense would be great to have for sure. So defense plus defense percent would be fantastic. 5-star is going to have a lot higher stats in general. Higher base stats, higher stats there. We can lift this up a little bit, and he's going to be even much better spot. Much better spot. Let's see. So with the limited silver we have, extra 93. So it actually wasn't a huge difference, honestly. This epic piece is at 14%. This one rolled 17%. So we still get some difference in the defense. Not huge, and lose a little bit of HP as well, but we do have a little bit more defense now. So coming up here, we have this shield that can be taken up all the way to 16. If I can make magic happen, there we go. Pretty cheap upgrade there. The defense, we'll take this up 1 to 5%. Get an extra, maybe get a little extra as well. A little 5% extra. HP, a little bit extra there as well. So now we see that he has 65,000 HP, 2,400 defense. Honestly, we could get to like 3,000 defense and he'd be in a very good spot. Not enough resistance to really make a difference. So I'm not going to try to build him for resistance. This chest plate, very solid. We can get some more speed there. That may actually be a very consistent run. And if it wasn't super consistent, you can just throw Archer in there alongside Bad L, and everything's going to be fine. Specifically, let's try to rebuild her and make her work as well as Bad L. So coming down here, we have a Slayer set. Honestly, she has 2 AoE skills. We want to cycle through her stuff very quickly, so why not use a Slayer set for her as well? If this was accuracy, it'd be even more reason. Honestly, we have 2 Slayer pieces that could be easily justified on her. So 2 pieces there. She could use a 6-piece Slayer technically, but we don't really need it. Actually, I want to use this. She does need accuracy because she places decreased speed, the stuns, the provoke, all the hex, all this kind of stuff you need. So we're going to throw this accuracy banner on her. So now we can come up here and see, okay, we want speed. We want 6-star speed boots. That's really what I want, honestly. Ideally in a speed set because that would give me more speed overall. Don't have any in a speed set, it seems, or any speed type set. We have some in Righteous set we could possibly use. Good Ascension there. Not going to use that, though. Fellhound has some. Honestly, Fellhound's probably his campaign farmer. Grimskin has some, which it's not 16 yet. I will throw this on her. And then we're going to go... Actually, yeah, let's do that. I want to do that because I want to make sure she's built very well. I do need to get some accuracy pieces. I want her actually to be much higher. She needs at least 225, which this banner getting to 16 will be fine. It'll be perfect there in that situation. But now let's go ahead and see. There are no accuracy sets that have pieces available at the moment. On Paragon, probably not built for content just yet. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I'm not for sure. But let's see the Slayer piece. The weapon there is good. This is a really solid weapon. So now we have a 4-piece Slayer. So she's going to get the turn meter boosting. The Paragon is going to be probably replace his gear for a little bit. Maybe not, though. Let's see if we have any more pieces with speed without tearing off any gear. I really don't want to move gear from other champs to him. To her, I mean, I'd really rather save his gear and where it's at. Let's see if we can do any speed. Very low in silver overall. Double roll speed. That is fantastic. We'll actually just replace that. No problem. We're going to go some accuracy. Maybe get an accuracy roll or two here. It'd be sweet. One roll. No problem. We are going to have good accuracy anyways because we do have this banner to go up quite a bit anyways. The chest plate, I really want to be defense percent or HP percentage with speed and ideally accuracy. Okay. This is a pretty solid glove actually. Pick it at 12. We do get it upgraded. Don't land any speed, but it's already double roll speed essentially. It'd be great to have her in Relentless plus Slayer, which is something we could work towards in the future. But right now, I don't think it's super likely or super possible to have happen. We'll drop the accuracy there. Slayer, defense, chest plate. Slayer. Okay, so this chest plate could be very good, actually. Since we do have the defense percentage chest plate. She is currently... We don't really need no set. We need no sets there whatsoever. So we can go speed or we can go accuracy. This is going to be just broken if I do this anyways. I really want a speed chest plate, or chest plate with some speed on it. Actually, she already has that. Defense percent with one roll speed. So this is fine. We're actually just going to equip this. Now, I can't, unfortunately, equip that just yet. But she goes up to 198 speed. She has Slayer giving her more speed. A lot more speed from these boots when they get upgraded. Let's come in here and sell a bunch of this 5-star gear real quick. So get rid of equipped. We're going to go to 5-star, not 6-star stuff. We're going to sell a bunch of the 5-star stuff, 5-star blue specifically. Just sell through it. These sets are not beneficial, even if they double roll speed. These are just bad sets. The crit rate one as well. Crit damage is possibly worth keeping sometimes, but a lot of these pieces are just going to be pretty easy sells. Another thing that's easily sell is primary stats, HP, attack, and defense on bottom row pieces. So he already cleansed that. Very good there. So we're going to sell these pieces. We're going to come in here and continue looking for some blue pieces that just aren't going to be used because this is going to allow us to actually get the build that's going to work well. This set's not really great. It's used somewhat in Scarab. We're going to come in here, sell these a few times, and give me enough silver to hopefully equip this at least. There we go. So we equip that. Good. Now, Archer is in a much better setup than what she was before. We do need to get her this fully upgraded. So let's see what it goes to here. Not quite where I want it to be, 14. So obviously not fully taken up all the way. However, at this point, her and Bad L, once she gets fully taken up her gear, her and Bad L can probably duo stages like this potentially even. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try it. These two champions, I mean, she's going to bring great control to the waves. No presets. He's going to do poisons. She brings the stuns, the provokes. He's just going to be locking them down with more poisons. Now, the bad thing is that they're not going to kill the food very easily. But the good thing is that they're not going to kill anything very easily. So it could take a little bit longer. But this is going to be stage 25, full auto. As long as we get to the dragon and are pretty safe with Bad L there really shouldn't be that big of an issue, honestly. We have a lot of poison, just stacking them up more and more. Bad L brings heals. The Archer brings heals. If you didn't have Archer, it could be a champion like Silva Drakes. Silva Drakes is a perfect Archer replacement in this situation. Archer's obviously a little bit squishy because her stuff's not fully taken up. So she may not do amazing as far as surviving here. But Bad L's keeping her cleansed the whole time. She's stunning. She's provoking. Remember, she's not fully booked either. So just having her like this is going to take the run, I believe, from like 5 minutes down so much. If you can do duo setups like this, there's really no reason not to, because sometimes it's actually faster than your full team setups anyways. And this setup is beautiful, honestly. It's a beautiful setup. We have Bad L dropping the poisons, Archer doing her thing. And then this run is also going to translate very well to Ice Golem normal stages, because normal stages, poison on the boss works out fantastic. Poison on the hard mode stages is not very good whatsoever, though. Poisons on the normal stage or the hard mode stages does nothing except for on the waves. On the boss, it just does stuff for the ads, the side minions, everything else it does nothing to. So this is another potential thing he could run. If this is more consistent, then hey, run this. Stage 25, you're getting a higher drop of legendary gear, higher drop of 6-star gear. But if you want to push into hard, this team will probably work on hard as well. You may have to throw in like Ancora, but if you had Ancora plus Archer plus Grazur, you can go through the waves a little bit quicker. Bad L was missing some poisons there, unfortunately. It may go down here. I'm not sure. It just depends on how well the champions perform. But remember, Archer could have a War Master. She could have all these extra damage-dealing things put on her. If Bad L can lay up some more poisons, then we're going to be in a very, very good spot. Probably not going to be able to destroy the HP from this poison, from this breath bar just yet. It's okay. Not a huge deal. But stage 25, Dragon, Duo, it's not too bad of a situation. Not too bad whatsoever. Just control the waves. place the poisons, get your speed going good, and it's going to be solid. Stage 20, obviously, this be no problem whatsoever. If this breath doesn't kill him, then I think it's 75% HP. I'm pretty sure it's 75% HP one. Yeah, so 75% HP. If you bring the mastery, that reduces your damage taken by AoE attacks or whatever, then this becomes a little bit easier. So it should be okay, honestly. Now, obviously, Force Affinity is not the best affinity for Bad L. Magic Affinity would be best. So stage 25, we can do it. May not be the safest. So if you come into hard mode, you get to stage 3, maybe you could do a duo setup there. Or if you wanted to drop down to stage 22, but honestly, I'd say stage 25 or stage 20 solo. One of those two things are going to be the best. And then for Ice Golem, very similar stuff. Stage 20 may not be the best, but stage 25, Bad L can solo that. You bring Archer plus Bad L in here, and they're going to duo right on through. So with these champions, you'll notice that I was focusing on speed and turn meter boosting. That's going to give these champions such a better or more easy way to perform in these dungeons. The Archer has so much more room to grow as far as these upgrades go, but I was matching the sets. So the 2-piece, okay, I know I'm shooting for 2-piece speed. We got a 2-piece speed, good. Now we get a bonus 12% speed, and we also get the extra speed from the Slayer set, and the also extra turn meter because of her AoE attacks. We don't need lifesteal because she does a lot of healing as it is anyways, and she also brings a defense aura in dungeon, so she helps Bad L with the farming, and getting her masteries done will be a massive improvement to the account once that actually happens. Coming over to Minotaur, now you actually have a probably relatively fast Minotaur farming team as well. So this team is not really what you need. Matter of fact, you could probably use Rathalos in a team. Unkillable team. Okay, so you use your unkillable team for Minotaur, it looks like. But let's see about this. Unkillable, I'm not sure what exactly that is for. But if you wanted to do this, you could do Rathalos plus Bad L probably. And this will probably work fine. And then you throw in a champion like Archer, who you want to get masteries for. Maybe you have Archer plus a few others, but this should probably clear it pretty quick. You don't necessarily need to have all these champions. Eventually, you want it to be like just Rathalos, like just running through by himself or something like that. But for now, you can have 2 champions with their masteries already complete. They're going to do it really fast. Archer's already max level, so you're not leveling her up, but you are getting the masteries done in less than 2,000 energy. And the masteries, once finished, are going to give her War Master, potentially, which is going to be bigger damage for Hydra. It's going to be bigger damage for Dragon. And on the Ice Golem, well, you might want to be careful there because it may cause some slams to come out more frequently. But running masteries is one of the biggest things you can do, the most impactful account things you can do, just period. It is so extremely helpful. You got to run your champions masteries because it just makes a world of difference for everything. War Master hits every now and then. For Clan Boss, it's incredible. And this is under a minute, basically. So you get under a minute, you get 2 champs running your other champion through masteries. Honestly, you may be able to do it with just Rathalos as well. Probably, very likely, honestly. Battle just makes it a little more consistent. So you could load up your Archer. You could load up your a bunch of your champions don't have their mastery complete, like your UDK, your Archer, of course. Various different champions have their masteries filled out a little bit. But with this, you could start taking champions who are like level 50, take them to 6-star, and then run them in here for their masteries. So now you're working on masteries for 3 champions while leveling them. So you're getting experience, you're getting silver, you're getting masteries, and you're getting levels. Like, it's the most efficient way by far to do this. Eventually, you want to make it to where you have 1 champion soloing Minotaur. But until then, this is more than okay. This is more than okay to go ahead and run through this, get your masteries done. Not a problem whatsoever. It's going to be a good way to do that as well. So with this, what I'd say is, like, just for like your guidance, I would jump in here to Dragon. Farms 25, farm 20, do 20 solo with Bad L, do 25 with the duo, see which one's the most consistent. That will allow you to level champions while doing the content. Hard mode is worth doing if you can push through with the teams I mentioned. I don't have silver to go in here and rebuild everything just yet, unfortunately. But if you do Archer plus Bad L, I'm kind of curious as to what they would do right now, honestly. Let's actually just try this, just these 3 champions. Just out of curiosity, I don't want to do too much, but this hard mode stage, it may actually be fine as well. I mean, the Archer's not booked, so once she becomes booked, you will have a more consistent placing of the stun, of the provoke, and all that kind of stuff. But this may actually go fine as well. So you could just climb up in hard mode, do 3 champions and some food. If Archer dies, guess what? Encore is going to res her anyways. So she comes back to life. They kill her again, it looks like. Now they get more provoke. She heals up some. Battle's doing a continuous heal as well. It's not that big of a deal because she has pretty frequent reses. And then Battle goes down also. So if you put an actual team around these champions, it's probably going to be fine. My wife is calling me. I'm gonna have to answer this in just a moment, but this is about the end of it. So you could put a team around this and it would work on Dragon stage 1 hard, but on normal, the duo there on 25, the solo on 20, go to Ice Golem and do similar stuff. Spider, a very good Spider setup is 1 second. Let me answer this call. I'll be right back. Right, for Spider, real quickly, let me talk about what could be possibly done for this. So Spider stage 20 is really what you want to push to, because Spider stage 20 is going to give you access to 5 and 6 star accessories. Anything before that is really a lot less worth doing. Stage 10 is good because it has like some weird coding and that drops more of the 5-star accessories. But stage 20 specifically, let's talk about this. So for stage 20 Spider, we're going to use, let's think about this. So Cold Hearts are really good. We have turn meter control from the Archer. Well, a little bit turn meter control. Where's your Spider team at? Let's see. So turn meter control from Maneater. I don't know if he's built for turn meter controlling or not, but his A2 does steal it. He has a little bit of accuracy, not a whole lot, but if we have a champion with an accuracy aura, maybe we'll make it work. Or an accuracy boost. I don't think we have any accuracy boosts. Not a big deal. We'll go Archer plus Rathalos plus Cold Heart. Cold Heart hopefully has enough there. She's actually built very well. I like that build a lot. Very good in the Cold Heart build. Archer, we're going to open with this. And then number 2 on this. And then from here, we're going to go with some more damage, essentially. If you HP burn the little Spiralings, it's great, but we're just going to be killing them most likely anyways right now. So it's not a big deal. We can go a champion like Turn Meter, Manipulation stuff. Enemy max HP, Grazure is good. I don't know how well he's going to be hitting, though. He's not quite built to do enough. Bad L is going to be good to make Cold Heart get closer to the max HP. Yeah, well, yeah, because she's not doing it right now. Sorry, her crit damage is very, very low. So yeah, it's going to be a problem. We do need to get that higher, definitely. But let's see what else we can use. So actually, an HP burn champion is going to be better, but that would require us just surviving. So we're just going to do Deacon. Deacon's going to allow some more turn meter manipulation. If he has enough accuracy, it's very close. He's very slow. So we need to get him faster. 200 plus speed is the goal for all this stuff. We'll throw in a Narcisse maybe. 190, 75. So no, not quite. And Cora, let's just throw her in, I guess. See how this goes. It may go okay, it may not. We got some builds we need to improve on. The Cold Heart needs to be 70% crit rate. It's fine because her A3 has a built-in 30%. She needs to be fast. She needs to have really good accuracy, all that kind of stuff. The best way to do this may actually just be doing your Mordecai and just turn meter decreasing on the Spider. That may just be the best way to do it because this is going to be pretty slow. It's not really going to do it like you'd want it to probably because we're just not going to get Cold Heart to take enough turns, unfortunately. The little Spiderlings here don't do damage to the big Spider when they die because it's normal mode. So honestly, having Mordecai just burn the Spiderlings and then a turn meter control champion is probably just going to be the way to go, honestly. You could stun them still with the Archer so they don't actually move. So it makes the animations go a little bit faster. But the Spider is going to be something like that. Burn strategy or maybe Cold Heart that's built to hit harder and maybe a Grazure as well. But either way, the Spider could get rebuilt and tweaked. But stage 20 is going to be the way to go, the place to farm. Just get Mordecai to be pretty fast, do his HP burn, turn meter manipulation, you're going to be good. So 186, 191, he's actually in a pretty good spot. So if you could just manipulate the turn meter of the Spider, you're going to be more than fine. That's all you got to do, just manipulate turn meter of the Spider. Maneater can decrease turn meter as well, or steal the turn meter, and Armons will do very good for decreasing the turn meter, but it's an AoE, so you may not want that because it's going to make the little Spiderlings take forever to actually do their HP burns. So there's Spider, there's Dragon, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully this gives you some good direction. Clan Boss, talking about doing Budget Unkillable, Doom Tower, Climb Up, Armon's going to be amazing. Stag Knight's a great champion to invest in. Curse City, I wouldn't even worry about it too much right now. So there we go. Hopefully that gives you good direction. Thank you very much, Warmir, for allowing me to share this with everybody else. Hopefully it helps out everybody else as far as building champions, gearing on where you should focus, and then really like how few champions with the proper gear you need to actually do dungeons. Like you saw it right there. Bad L did incredible. If you didn't have Bad L, you could do a different AoE poison champion. Venom Mage, Earlgrim, all those champions work fantastic as well. Different stages, but Venom Mage would be incredible on stage 25 of Dragon. Stage 24 of Dragon. On hard mode, it's going to be a little more challenging, but you got 2 options for both these dungeon stages, 2 very solid things. So with that said, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and best of luck in your account builds. Like I said, if you are interested in having a takeover, coaching, review, whatever you're interested in having done, If you'd like for me to do that for you, then click the link down below, get signed up, and we'll get in contact on Discord, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and I'll catch you all in the next one.